Ethan is looking through the news and observes that many mass shooters are reported to have abnormal mental health. He wants to view the correlation between mental illness rates and mass shooting rates of a population. He views the scatterplot to observe any trends. He wants to find out more about an interesting point on the plot and whether or not the shooters in that state had any history of mental illness, so he brushes over a point. The system presents information about each shooting that has occurred in that state. He now wants to view information about another state, so he clicks outside of the brush. The system resets to its original view, and old state's information is replaced by any new one that is brushed over. He then wants to know if any larger trends exist when the states are grouped by geographical area, so he selects a region to filter by. The system filters out all data points that are not contained within that region. The system still responds to the user's brush. This visualization allows a user to view correlation between mental illness prevalence, number of mass shootings, and U.S. geographical region by encoding 3 visual variables. There is no apparent link between the prevalence of mental illness and mass shootings. However, the color separation between the east, which is represented by the cool colors blue and green, and the west, which is represented by the warm colors, such as red, orange, and yellow, does provide us with an interesting insight, that both mental illness and mass shootings are more common in the western half of the U.S. Another insight we were able to generate is that while observing the trends by region, we found that the southeast actually appears to have an inverse trend between the X and Y axes. When we selected a point to get more details on demand, we actually found that almost all of the shooters had a history of mental illness, as displayed by the last sentence in each paragraph. We also noticed that nearly every single mental health detail was given by a friend, relative, or spouse of the shooter. For example, mother, ex-girlfriend, brother, co-workers, and wife. From this, we can deduce that many of the shooters were never officially diagnosed with or treated for their mental disorder, since none of the reports were generated by a psychiatrist or therapist. However, the data that was used to calculate the percentage of a population suffering from mental illness is all generated by diagnoses of a disorder from a mental health professional. Therefore, a better variable to observe against mass shooting rates would be the percentage of undiagnosed illnesses, or the quality of mental health resources by state. But we wouldn't have known this without the insights that were generated from our visualization.